Yo, yo, in case you don't know, my name is Auteur. I'm a rapper and visual artist from Indiana. I go to a lot of hip hop shows. This channel is kind of dedicated to hip hop. I like a lot of canvas art, but really it's focused on like the underground scene, underground hip hop. And today I just wanted to take this opportunity, since we're in December going to New Year's, to talk about my favorite, because a lot of people will do like their favorite albums breakdown of like 2022. For me, I really love the live aspect of rap. I really love the craft of live MCing, and because I'm more of like an underground channel, I think it would be better to, instead of talking about like a list of what I think are the best albums of 2022, which is what you're going to get blasted with, I want to do best live artists of 2022. So I've gone to a lot of shows. This is based off of my personal opinions. I prefer like the Griselda, Freddie Gibbs, Ransom type rappers. So those are more of the shows I went to, but I also like the straight like psychedelic LA scene as well. I've went to a couple hundred. I've probably went to around 80 hip hop shows. I was going to say a couple hundred, but that's straight like a lie. And I'm going to be talking about some of the most notable, some of my favorite. And there's going to be some like honorable mentions too. Like Chris Crack was really good live. That surprised me. Chris Crack was fire. Kenny Mason surprised me from Atlanta. But yeah, let me just get right into it. I'm going to start with probably one of the most famous rappers on my list, Kendrick Lamar. I regret seeing him in Ohio though. Like my friend booked the tickets and he was like, do you want to see it this weekend or next weekend? And I was like, this weekend, fuck it, let's go. And it was at Ohio State University, which the other show was in Chicago. I really, really, really wish I would have seen him in Chicago. That would have been better vibes. So bear in mind that in my evaluation of the Kendrick show, it was in Ohio. So that's an automatic 2-point deduction, because nothing good happens in Ohio, even a Kendrick show. That was probably the worst one on the stop. I'm not even going to lie. But it was fantastic. I mean, I might play some clips here because I have a lot of recordings off my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, @largeauteur on Instagram, AUTEUR. But he started it. So Baby Keem was his opener, right? So I thought it would be logical if he transitioned from the Baby Keem show to the Kendrick show with Family Ties, because Baby Keem introduces Kendrick on that track and Baby Keem was the opener. Not the biggest fan of Baby Keem. I saw him at Buku and at the opening for Kendrick, and he's alright, but like the bar is so high because he's PG Lang and that's Kendrick's label, that Baby Keem never really brought anything. He's just like an Atlanta style like Sheck West type rapper. So, I wasn't impressed with the openers. Sierra Leone or something was the other opener. They weren't terrible. And then, like, it just went dead after the Baby Keem show, and it just went black, and they pulled these curtains up. And then they reveal Kendrick playing a piano, which is really interesting that he came out playing the piano with his back turned to the audience, like. And he had a marionette puppet. And that was interesting. And then he got up and then he started performing and rapping. And it kind of showed the vibe he was going for. More pensive and more stern and more about parenting and heavy weight and issues. But he still did a little bit of Good Kid, Mad City. Kendrick used a backing track. And I didn't like that. And he fumbled up on his words a few times. But he did this thing where, like, if he was like, get it on the way, get it, like, he would just like mumble and he would keep on beat. Like, he wouldn't lose his rhythm, he wouldn't lose his tracking, he rarely had to like catch up. It was more that he was like, he would just, if he started fucking up, he just had this confidence of like, just like at least like gibberish your way through it. Like, they probably got me down at the end of the song, and then say he messes up. Seems like the whole me in the street. They go, yeah, yeah, yeah. So because he was doing that, it was kind of covering up some of the mistakes, and he was able to do all these different songs off these different albums. I mean, people expect Kendrick to bust out shit from all of his albums, so that would be difficult because that's a lot to remember. Like, something that I thought was interesting about the Kendrick show was that he was sitting down for a portion of it, and that was when he was doing like Father Time. That was pretty cool. I was like front row in the pit, so I had a good view on everything. That video is on my Instagram.
Cause I witness when you win and make your daddy put his people with this I was like another footage living on the go sleeping in the villa looking for the check sex money murder these are the times never not giving them a knot stealers on the way killers on the way winners on the way you ain't shit without a body when you built you ain't shit without a ticket on your plate you ain't sick enough to pull it in your skull you ain't rich enough to hit the lot of skills gonna be a fate peace to the world. Money, murder,
and then he ended it by going up into this cube into the sky, and he had a lot of things like he had a COVID check during his show. It was fantastic, honestly. The weird things about it was it didn't have the vibe of a hip-hop show to me. Like, Kendrick is so serious, and the crowd, it was in Ohio, so the crowd was like all white girls, like college girls, so that was annoying. Like, I was trying to block out these trifling, like, microaggression conversations that were happening around me. So, into another one of the biggest rappers I saw, J. Cole, caught him at Lala. He was not using backing tracks. He was rapping over instrumentals. And, I don't know, man. I think for how good of a rapper J. Cole is, like, I feel like he can never deliver on the live aspect. He never brings the energy that I think he captures in his music live. He has great accompanying acts like JID and people like that around him. I think he signed Kenny Mason recently. Dreamville Fest, I only hear great things about that. But I just think Cole he's too chill, too relaxed. He never brings that energy and that stage presence that I would want from him.
Sex gang down to the sex gang, go bad for the word of flex man. If you play the sick, whole rich gang, she's gone, she's texting, she's falling. But let me explain, gotta tell your whole boyfriend, stay good. But nigga don't play the next day, so. Straight sexing, no him but the arresting. And I ain't coming up on my last name. So really can't take no shit, like where I done been. Who I ain't, no, I'm gonna see you. But I'm stopping to the rock, I'm stopping to get some big projector. She said, I'm in shit,
One thing that's hilarious though is I'm not so sure about this, but like it seems like I don't know a lot about Dreamville, but it seems like Cole did a remix of the Zach Fox song Stick, cause he was like rapping to Stick, like the beat, like the stick, but he made the beat a little bit worse. It was like a DJ Drama remix of Zach Fox, so that was wild. Like I never thought in my lifetime I would be seeing Zach Fox remixed by J. Cole. That's just crazy. Like Zach Fox, go listen to Wood Tip. That album is fire, and that's someone I definitely want to see live. Open for Kenny Beats or something. That is hilarious. And to another big act, talking about Dreamville, I saw Earthgang twice at Electric Forest and at Halloween. Earthgang's really good. They approach sets like a mosh pit kind of atmosphere. They don't rap like, it's not like an R&B or a rap vibe. They kind of just stand there and then their DJ just blasts the bass. And you'll see like the stage people will always come and try to tell their DJ to turn the bass down, and he's like, no. They have to feel it in their chest. So Earthgang is like almost like bass music live. It's really weird. They try to get the crowd involved a little too much, like singing their songs, which they're not famous enough for that yet.
I'm from the ghetto, baby. See bodies in the street before I could tweet. I came from nothing. I turned a mustard seed into a million in the discussion. Had a TED talk with the higher be show me how to run it up. I need on my teeth. Every day that I wake up, I'm thinking myself, can't believe that it's really me. Popping shows in New Zealand, boy, you is not Ian, man. We do not play in the same league. I gave my mama surrection. She asked me if I'm sending drugs. I said, mama, please. If I was, do you think I'd let you know? Got so many memories that I made on casket road. Let's go! Let's go, soccer scene! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! 3, 4, let's go! when niggas get back. I'm giving cameras and cameras and still hit the dance with a nigga wherever I'm at. Feel like a champion, mama been telling me I ain't the masterpiece like it's a clap. She just hit locking in the action system with the only get to your seven too fast. Life is my legacy, well out the hell of me, having a nigga see me with his bag. Living in regular people I'm packed. Double on seven before you react. Don't think twice.
They did a couple of the Spillage Village songs, and I enjoyed that. And they had decent stage presence. I mean, I saw someone like stage run on them and like run into their green room, and that was pretty like funny. They were chill about that though. Super nice to the dude that fucking stage rushed him. Don't ever do that to a rapper. That shit is awful. And to talking about music festivals, Tyler the Creator at Buku. This was last year, but I just wanted to include this because it was like at the end of the year, towards the end. Tyler was incredible live. Like, absolutely incredible. Great showman. Everything was on point. Like, let me just show a clip.
Last night I slept over. During sex, I overheard. Her sword sliced the air. I pulled out the gun. I rolled off the bed and shot back. She's probably spilling from my gas.
5-7 of his bitches in my bedroom. I swallow the cinnamon. I'ma scribble this silly shit. What's it is telling me that she's been getting intimate with men? Sit, shut the fuck up. Here's the number to my therapist. Tell him all your problems. He's fucking awesome. Well, listen, eh?
And like, just so polished. I love the set. I love the fashion. He understands it's about how you present yourself. It's about the energy. It's about the experience. He ran up and my girlfriend actually got to like high five him on the rail. So that was awesome. One thing I don't like about Tyler is he's one of those acts that has like the extra security of like the dudes who will like line up on the rail and like jump up on it and put their crotch right in your face. I hate that shit. But he's probably just paranoid, doesn't want people stage rushing him. I mean, like, Earthgang didn't have the extra security. They got stage rushed. But I like that Tyler goes back and does Yonkers and stuff. Call Me If You Get Lost was fantastic. But yeah, I respect what Tyler does. His show is really, really good. He primarily does festivals. I haven't seen him do a tour, but definitely catch one of his festival shows. Great energy. I think he did Lollapalooza as well. And they were both just fantastic shows. Tyler's always good. I like that he pulls out older music, and he just always has a love for the craft. He's a real artist. I think he's underrated. He won the back-to-back Grammys. And shout out to Conductor Williams for producing the Michael Irvin beat that was used by DJ Drama, remixed into the Sir Baudelaire beat for Call Me If You Get Lost. So that's pretty dope, the Griselda beat maker. And that's a good transition to talk about my favorite concert this year, which was Griselda live in Chicago. What would Virgil do? That was a crazy show.
Still awesome. Born a whip coat, I still bustin'. Rosing out the faucet. Chicago, what's up? So Virgil, right brick on my brain. Let up the 30 ain't even. The body dips in the shine, nobody see this. Rubber coat on my.
Westside did a pop-up. He had like the Jordan with the 6 rings with the third eye shirts. Everything was fire. I mean, when Wes showed up for the concert, he went through the line of everybody waiting and like introduced himself to every single person. And just his appreciation for the art, the appreciation of putting on a show. He flew in every single member of Griselda into Chicago to put this show on. Like it was so fly. Like, he was wearing the Louis Vuitton denim jacket. It was like fire. He drove up in his Maybach. Like, he had trailered his Maybach all the way from Buffalo to New York just to drive up in his personal vehicle, and then privately flew Rome Streets and Stove God from Miami to Chicago because they had a show the night before in Miami. He flew down to introduce their show and then came back, brought them back to Chicago to have every member of Griselda except for Boldy James and Mach Hommy present. That was a fire show. That was true hip-hop. They went for 4 hours. 4 hours doing medleys. They They weren't even doing the full songs. They each one was doing like 10 songs in a row. Like, I put a lot of it on YouTube under my Jacob Caudillo YouTube channel. Go check that out. I'll show some clips. But the energy was unmatched. The people in that building knew hip-hop. The fans of Griselda, every lyric. The DJ that went on before was playing some classics, knew every lyric. Those were some true hip-hop fans in that building. Mixed crowd. It wasn't just a bunch of white people. Like, it was fire. Everybody was chill. No one was like being overbearing as far as security. It was super, super dope.
Put your motherfucking hands up. Y'all ain't never heard this shit before. Listen. Yeah. And yeah, even a big gun got a little black hole in Destiny's record exec. Probably hold your black soul if you sold it. Now me, I'm in the driver's seat, so controlling. Never talking cheap, my teeth golden. They use a key to shovel the blowing. They know the pay me all of the money they owe me for those. As far as shit that I compose, there's a picture of my life running roads, certain goals to make thousands over flip phone. Keep blinkers in my trousers, down in more than chip homes. I got this shit sold like that was there, but we the Pakistan. So the cash I got in my stash come from the rapper fans. The other G's is underslow, low underclothes. All these hoes love me cause I'm real. You really love me, I hope it's only one.
They had great visuals behind. And, like, they didn't use backing tracks. They was just rapping right over the instrumentals, and I respect that. Westside Gunn's voice sounds exactly the same live as it does on his albums. And so, like, the way the show worked is Westside came out, and he had his group of rappers, like Rome Street, Stove God, rapping with him, and, like, Armani Caesar. Then Benny came out, and he had his group of people rapping with him, like Rick Hyde, 38 Spesh, and Heem. And then you had Conway the Machine come out, and then he rapped with his set of people, like 7X the Genius and Jay Skis. And then they all came together, and then the three, Benny the Butcher, Westside Gunn, and Conway, rapped their collaborative songs together. And in between, they did a couple of other ones. It was fire. They were taking recommendations from the crowd and actually rapping them, and they have hundreds of songs. I recently did the tier list video. They have 96 albums, not counting their remix albums. Counting their remix albums, I think it's like 120. So that was fire, fire, fire. Westside, I think, sounded the best. Conway closed. They closed with Dr. Birds, and that was fire. It literally brought the whole building down. Westside had like a Kane impersonator, like his fourth row people come in and do wrestling. Like choke slamming people on the stage. That was the intermission, was like, as they were like getting a breather, it was like a wrestling show. Doughboy was there, which was, he like did some opening numbers or whatever. I wish Boldy and Mach were there, but whatever. I saw Boldy later. And the show was just absolutely incredible. Like, the energy, like, when they actually had the crowd rap the parts, the crowd, like, it was like chanting at a soccer game or something. Like, it was real. Like, the energy was real. So, can't talk enough about Griselda. Every member was fire, a lot of wholesome moments. Like, 7X the Genius got a little bit of stage fright, and then Conway, like, kind of pulled her back and then rapped with her, and then she, like, killed it. So, a lot of great moments in that show. A lot of great fashion. Derringer was DJing it. Like, it was fire. That was the best hip-hop show. And when Westside announced his tour, I put out a little PSA on the internet, and Wes actually retweeted it, so that's pretty dope. Shout out to Westside. And the fucking Liz hoodies are dope as hell. I'm going to shoot my next album in that shit. That shit's fly. I went to North Coast this year as well, just to see Kaytranada and Channel Trace. Kaytranada was fire, and Channel Trace was fire. The Channel Trace show was actually better. I was expecting Kaytranada to be a little better than he was. It felt like a rushed show. The mixing was off, so I don't know what was going on there, if it was just a technical issue. But, yeah, great shows. I'm going to shout out the Channel Trace show.
So when this bass line drop, I need everybody dancing in that no fucking way.
Just great vibes, great show. Moving on to my Backwoods brothers. Like, one of my favorite labels is Backwoods Studios. I worked with Steel Tip Dove on my last album. I'm looking forward to maybe collaborating with more Backwoods people in the future. Billy Woods is one of my favorite rappers, so I definitely had to catch his show. Arm & Hammer played at Pitchfork. And then I saw Billy Woods and Illicet in Chicago, and that was a great show. So shout out to Billy Woods and Illicet. Great rappers. Always got to blur Billy's face if you get a recording of him, just for out of respect.
Holding my breath in the crawl space, wait, tape to my body. Barbarians at the gate, big guys, wait. Take baby, but out here, how the fuck they get a copy. Survive by the grace of God, the averted eyes and vibes passing through my building lobby. No more smokes, National Geographic, Negroes, Coca-Cola, anthropologists watch the Negroes sell dope. On huddle corners, corner stores, jot notes. Hand to hand with the nurse for mothers before it's a good trust. Fascinating stuff. Something four finger wearing cobra clutch. $3 million hovering over some mud huts and stuff. It's not the heat, it's the dust. Shower when the wind gusts trust. Yeah. Rise, smile, cop a legal weave, your fake hole in the wall. Now I don't wanna go see guys with an orchestra in Carnegie Hall. No man and the people, I wanna be caught dead with most of y'all. Don't call me again what I should have said when he called. Rise, smile, cop a legal weave, your fake hole in the wall. Now I don't wanna go see Nas with an orchestra in Carnegie Hall. No man and the people, I will be caught dead with most of y'all. Don't call me again when I should have told him when he called.
On Thanksgiving, I went to the Roc Marci and Alchemist Friendsgiving. I wanted to catch the NBA Leather Tour with Action and Boldy, but it just didn't happen. So I think I was actually in Griselda at the Griselda show the same time that the NBA Leather show was near me. So that was kind of unfortunate that was the same weekend. So I couldn't catch Action. But I've seen Action before at Halloween, and he kind of was out of breath. I wanted to see him again because he's more in shape now, and I think he's ready to put on a good live show. But at the Friendsgiving, Boldy James opened, and that was pretty fire. I think this is Boldy James' year. 2022 is Boldy James' year. 4 full-length projects. The Wes Craven project, or the Nicholas Craven, not Nightmare on Elm Street. The Nicholas Craven project was fire. The Killing Nothing project was fire. I'm really happy with what Boldy has done this year. Live, he had a great presence. He opened with Hot Water Tank, which I liked. And I think he closed with... closed with like Flight Risk. I don't know. I can't remember. It was a great show. Boldy represents Griselda well. I'm happy I was able to see him to kind of finish out my year seeing every member of Griselda. And then Roc Marci and the Alchemist came on. And let me say, like, Roc Marci is polished. His movements, his fashion, the way he came out was so fire. I mean, having the Alchemist on the DJ table probably doesn't hurt because, like, I've never seen a smoother DJ. And Al had, like, a microphone, and he didn't say shit. So Like, he was just focused. That shit was clean. You could tell he was doing some work on the MPC, but for the most part, he was just kind of plugging things in, kind of doing some live mixing, making sure everything sounded good. Roc was obviously rapping over instrumentals. There were no backing tracks. I hate backing tracks. Everything sounded clean. Roc delivered every line perfect. Perfect. He mostly just stuck with Elephant Man's Bones, though, which I thought was interesting. It's probably he wanted to have that polished set, you know. But yeah, saw a lot of good friends there, met up with some mutual people, so really glad I went to that. Roc Marci is a legend, one of the best East Coast rappers. I'd put him right under the Griselda show. That was just a great show. That was a great event, great promotion, great venue. Everything about that was fire.
Throwing all those subs, we might make a sub on it. This music is up, she ain't gonna use it. Being in the can't cover, be looking like the zombie. Just being my Uzi, we looking like a couple spooning. Enough with the canoodling. Blow your noodles on your beautiful drip. This whole support, you should Google it. My love language is another language. Played by the mother like some Cartier love bracelets. Hermes bracelets, that's a bank statement. Need more than a handkerchief, cause we covering all the bases. I still got the whip, still naked.
And then the Your Old Droog set. So I saw Your Old Droog, I think it was in Rochester. And he was pretty good. I really liked his album, Yod Stewart. He's been on a run this year, too. Wanted to make sure I caught him. And he brought out Mach Hommy. And that completed me seeing every member of Griselda this year. And Mach Hommy's cool. I kind of want to see what it's like when he's in the studio actually writing and freestyling his music. After a lot of these acts I've mentioned, like, that's one of the more underwhelming, but I still wanted to shout that out.
And you was up in Mars days before a break, fighting men in your dick. You must be fried like Shrimp Tambora. Motherfuckers rub up the floor, think they wanted with a top 10 scorer. I fight shooting the foul with eyes closed. You a bench warmer. Your team rap like gyros or your man Schwarmer. Just got some intel on your bench squad. I heard you there bras and cells like sim cards. Don't make me have to send it dogs. Shells going in down temples like the devout who synagogue. Sit on the Freddie guard. Professional flappers on deck who sit hard. So we tell them when they get applaud, dog. Give them the okay side like Johnny Carson. Y'all walking on the shirts like it's gonna be awesome. Some damn like Sam below the ghetto. But first, won't you give a nice hand to put the pedals? He said my record shady like Interscope.
And I saw Freddie Gibbs recently. And Freddie Gibbs, man. He didn't even have, like, the instrumentals. He was, like, rapping over the song. So, like, it wasn't even, like, a backing track. Like, it was, like, the whole ass song, and he was just rapping on top of it. And then every song he would, like, cut out and do, like, a whole verse a cappella. Fire. I could listen to Freddie rap a cappella all day. I think I got a clip of, like, Crime Pays I'm going to play here.
Open it up, open it up, open it up. Have we ever fucked the same bitch before with nobody been? Niggas be fucking these songs and say fuck insurance and not the business. Have we ever fucked the same bitch before?
the county, but she only fuckin' with you cause you fuckin' with gang. Thought she was boosting her credit with niggas like you to this gang got enough on their neck. Thought she was boosting her credit with niggas like you to this ain't got enough on the book. Talking that shit in the booth, but when niggas come shoot at you, you get them nothing but look. Niggas are bustin' on niggas on your nigga bustin', they ain't on the shit back. It's on me to draw out the cop. Gotta shut up, now we know that this bitch back. He said it, they calling my phone and you up at the book cause they ain't your bitch duck. And rockin' and winning my TC and bad to shoot. That nigga was dick sucking, goddamn.
But yeah, fire. Crime Pays is one of my favorite songs. Freddie knows what to bust out like he did Thuggin', Crime Pays, Fake Names, The Hard. So he kind of knows what, people want, what people want to hear. Forever and a Day. So he did a lot of really good ones. Big Freddie Gibbs fan. I'm not he had a rough year. I don't like that he beefed with Griselda. I don't like that he disrespected Benny. I don't like a lot of the personal things he makes, decisions he makes. He seems kind of like untrustworthy. He seems like he has some type of personality issues, but I respect him immensely as an artist. He always seems like he'd be cool to his fans and cool in person. Besides, I feel like his issues he's one of those people, he doesn't deal with confrontation very well. He doesn't deal with... I don't know. He's very, when you hear him talk about different, confrontations he's going through, he'll have, wildly varied opinions on it from one interview to the next. So I don't think he can make his mind up. I think he's his own biggest enemy. But despite all that, great rapper, great shows. And that goes into the last one I wanted to mention, Pusha T, King Push. Obviously a great... Kanye's last good production ever is probably on this Pusha T album. Dreaming of the Past, man, that song goes hard. Pusha T, Nothing Bad to Say. He did Nostalgia. He did Numbers on the Board. He did If You Know, You Know. So brought out a lot of the ones I wanted to hear. I love Pusha T. Great year for hip hop, man. From Kendrick, J. Cole, Earthgang, Tyler the Creator, all of Griselda, Billy Woods, Boldy James, Roc Marci, Mach Hommy, Freddie Gibbs, Pusha T. And then I'm going to hopefully go see Beanie Segal soon. So a lot of good acts, a lot of good rappers. Best DJ was probably The Alchemist, man. That was clean. Let Down by Kaytranada, but I still have hopes I can catch a good set. Maybe that was just not a good time for him. But yeah, definitely proud of the hip-hop going on right now. My new album is coming out soon, so definitely get ready to check that out. I really wish I could have seen Black Thought this year. I really want to go see... I don't know, I'm blanking. But yeah, man, great shows, great hip-hop. Out of any of these, I would definitely wholeheartedly recommend to go out of your way to see, Griselda. Go out of your way to see Westside Gunn. Go out of your way to see Roc Marci. Go out of your way to see Freddie Gibbs. Because those are the three I'd put at the top. Probably, it went, Griselda, Roc Marci, Freddie Gibbs is, my three favorite hip-hop shows this year. So, yeah, definitely go check them out.